Hello and welcome to week 4. We've got a lot of material packed into this week, so I'd like to take a few minutes to try to guide you through this. Let's start by looking at your weekly checklist, and that's been updated to reflect the new due dates of the assignments. So your theory reflection paper is week 5. You should be reading chapter 6, beginning to tape your child and work on the transcription. Review the charts on content form and use, which I'm going to show you where they are today. Do some more practice if you need more practice on the MLU. So you see that's optional. Do your discussion board, turn in your oral language calendar, and begin to work on your theory reflection paper. So this week, we'll continue to look at language development in the preschool years. And it's important to note the progression of a child's cognitive skills for their social and emotional maturity. Specifically, you'll be looking at pragmatic development and the 7 functions of language. So the objectives at the end of the week: explore the oral language assignment, understand pragmatic development, and explore the 7 functions of language. Let me show you how you can best do that. Well, by looking at our activities and assignments, you'll see that we have reading resources, our discussion board, which you'll continue to post to. Your oral language calendar is due. This is where you will click here. And this, remember, is optional. Do you need more practice on morphemes and utterances? If you do, you're going to click. You're going to look at the video hide and seek, and there's a little practice document for you should you think you need to do this. I would not calculate the MLU on this, actually. It's too time consuming. But just see, if you feel confident now in morphemes and utterances. Again, optional, should you need it. Okay, so if we click on Reading and Resources, you will see you should be reading Chapter 6. I also have a website for you, which is very interesting because it shows how a child's writing develops over time. And it's called One Child's Journey Through Writing Development. And if you click on that link, you'll see it's a PBS site. And it takes you from scribbles to stories. And you can take a tour of the writing samples from babyhood through 3rd grade. And it's really quite nice because it gives you the actual scribble and tells us that this happened at 18 months and gives us some other information about Toby. And we can see the progression to age 3, age 4, and you want to read this blurb because it gives you some important information as how this is developing. Age 5 at kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So really interesting. You can see that progress over time and how nice it is to have a portfolio of that kind of work. So take a look at that. And then you're going to want to, let's get me in the right place. You're going to next have a short video on pragmatics, discourse structures, which is interesting. And then we have a folder called Pragmatics, which is our key topic for this week. So in this area, I've given you several resources. The first one is Social Language Use Pragmatics. So let's take a look at that. And this is from the American Speech and Hearing Language Association. So it gives us an idea of what pragmatics consists of. 3 major communication skills: using language, changing language, and following rules, with examples for each one. And what might happen when a child has a problem with pragmatics. So you want to take a look at that. The next one that you want to take a look at is pragmatic language tips. Again, from the same website. But it gives us ideas for changing language for different situations and how we might encourage that to happen. So some ideas for helping students develop the 3 major areas of pragmatics in different situations. The next area is Halliday's model of language functions. So I've taken you to a website which gives us some information on Halliday and the functions that he identified. Now these are the first 4, and then they talk about the next 3. And you can click to the full article. And it's a wiki source, which I don't like to use, but lots of my sites went down, and this happens to be correct here. So you've got that. But I did something else for you that's kind of fun as well, and that is I put up a Quizlet for you. Now, Quizlet is a wonderful free site that you might want to use with your students going forward into the future, I hope. What it does is it lets you create online games, tests, study tools, and basically, you could put up, as I did, the word and a definition and an example, and then you can have flashcards, and you can do this for a whole class. You can save information. It could be given to students to do on their own, but the site is Quizlet. So let's take a look at flashcards and how that might work. So here we've got instrumental. So you should be able to say what that is. You can click to flip it, and we get an example. Regulatory. Click to flip it, and we get the example. Interactional. Again, click to flip it. Now, that's our test. Suppose we really just wanted to learn this. Well, what do I put in this? If I don't know, I can give up, and it will tell me, and then I should type in the answer. That's going to help me learn it for a student. All right? If I had wanted to do a spelling test, we could have done that. We're not really spelling here, okay? But we could have put that in.
Heuristic.
And then you would have to type in that word.
Heuristic.
Doesn't make sense for this particular. Okay, we could make a test. Look how easily that is, and this did this for me. I didn't create this. I can play a game. And what I'm doing is dragging things, I'm not even reading, dragging things to a thing to see if I can find the right one. And obviously I should be reading so that I could do this a little better. There we go. And then it disappears after I find the right one, and it's keeping time. I could also have erase, destroy the scrolling words by typing in their corresponding terms and pressing enter. So as it comes, you've got to start typing down here, and you really have to know your stuff to do that. So that's Quizlet with the 7 functions of language. So dual purpose, introduce you to this site and give you some opportunity to make sure you know the 7 functions of language. So that covers that. Now, let's go back and take a look, excuse me, at our Jing resources. So we'll open up that folder. And you can see you're going to be identifying content, form, and use. So we've got to open up the link. And you can see you have
Hi everyone, I'm creating this video of the content form and use function outline for.
So you have a video within the video explaining content, form, and use. That was not created by me, it's created by another professor, but I am sharing with you. Same thing happens with form description, use and functions, and then summary of the template and other videos. A Word document with this content, form, and use explained with samples. So you're going to use a chart just like this to fill in when you're doing your final SEA project. And you'll see that this is going to be very helpful to you, I hope. One more. This is the actual one you'll complete. So that's without the red, so you can use this as your guideline, as your template. So that's our gene explanations. And let's make sure we've covered everything. I believe we have lots of stuff, as well as your calendar being due. So hopefully you've had fun with that and you've created something meaningful. If you have questions, concerns, because things do get a little confusing, I know, please let me know. Phone call, text, email, your choice. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.